Good morning, Stampers. It is Tammy with Stampin' Scrap Tammy coming to you with a Facebook Live on Wednesday, June 24th. So if you are watching the replay, that's when this was originally taped. And this is one you are not going to want to miss. Check out the card we are going to be creating today. There's lots of pieces to this, so that's why we're starting right down in the working position today. I am sharing with you the host code. This is the current host code. If you use this, you will get a free card kit in the mail. I will automatically send it to you. There's no reason or you don't have to RSVP for it. It just automatically gets sent to you when you place an order. If your order is under $50, you get 5 cards sent. If your order is over $50, you will automatically get 10 cards, 2 of each design. I'll share that with you at the end as well. It'll also show up in the comments and after the video. So this is what I'm going to show you today is the prize Peony, how to do the flowers for that. I touched on this set last week. We bring in some of the elements for that. Currently, this is my birthday club class, so you can RSVP for this class. I will be sending them out towards the end of this weekend. You have the option to add on the bundle stamp set and the die cuts for the cost that is in the catalog. So I take care of the shipping and the tax to get it to me, and then I get it to you after that. Okay, so what's included in the birthday club class? It is not this card here today, but it is going to be 8 cards, plus there's 1 bonus card that is a non-birthday card or birthday card included. So 9 total cards. And then you get a half a package of the 12 by 12 paper. So these are the designs in the paper. They are 12 by 12 though. And then you will get a half a sampling of the ribbon, these gems, and then these new square doilies, which are super adorable in the birthday club class. So class is $28 or $35, I believe, if it's shipped to you. You can see registration information in the comments here later or in the weekly email that will go out. All right, so here are the die cuts that we're using. And here's where I have layered them up. And that's what I'm going to show you today is how to layer these. And then here's the stamp set. Also in that suite is the Dainty Diamonds embossing folder. And something that I really like to add with this one, now you could crinkle up your paper on your own, but what better way if you crinkled it with the Old World embossing folder. It gives it just the perfect amount of crinkle. It's quick to do and looks just absolutely amazing. So I think this one should actually go with it too. I think this collection should have 2, which is also how you can see the Stampin' Up! Products do really coordinate across all suites. Now do keep in mind right now there's a starter kit special. If you would like to get this collection for free, I believe this is one of the more expensive ones. It's almost $60. You could get these die cuts and the stamp set for free when you purchase the starter kit right now. Starter kit is $99. You pick $125 in your own product that you would like, and then you can pick any suite for free. It can be one of the punch ones as well, which I will share with you right now. I am using this punch. So this right here is the lovely You bundle. Also would have some really nice sentiments to add to this card, but I particularly really like this punch to add just a fancy little top to my tag. And so I will use that when I get to that sentiment. I just wanted to share with you right away what I was using. I'm gonna try, there's lots of parts to this, so I'm gonna try to stay organized here. All right, so let's move that aside and I will start with the flowers. And I am going to start, because I'm gonna show you the shimmer paint as well today. So I'm gonna start with the ones I'm gonna shimmer so that it'll give it a second to dry. All right, so these are really easy to build. So they're intimidating when you first look at them, but once you get going on it, it's very simple. So you're gonna have 4 pieces, and you don't have to do all of the pieces. It just depends on how layered you'd like your flower. But I'm gonna show you with all 4. And so what you do is you just tuck it in to the crevice there, and then you go the next size. And then the next size. And that is how, that's all there is to it to build this flower. And it doesn't matter if you get it bent up a little bit, because you're gonna want it, you wanna give it a little bit of dimension. I'm gonna have to pick this up to do it. All right, so there we go. So just like that, look at how easy that is. It's not difficult at all. And now something you can do, I need a bone fold. And so as you see, this one I did not run through the embossing folder. I'll show you the ones that I did. Because on my flowers, I'm gonna do 3 on my card, and I want them all to be a little bit different. You could do them all the same, but I wanna show them to you 3 different ways. And now you could certainly do this before you put it together if you want, but I wanted this one to be pretty basic. Okay, so that's one. And then the next one I'm gonna do is using the petal pink. I'm gonna lay them all out into the right order, and then we'll just start building on that one. So this is the one I ran through the Old World embossing folder. And you could really, I thought it'd be really neat to try with different embossing folders. You know, any of them would be nice. And so I might do that, you know, in the future and just see, and you could put a whole bouquet of them together using all different embossing folders. So this is definitely one of those at a glance, very intimidating. Once you start putting it together, not hard at all. So hello to everybody that is watching. I really appreciate it. It's so fun to see your names come up. So as these are embossed, they're a little bit harder to sneak in there, but not difficult at all. And then what you can do, as you see, this one is kind of loose here. If you'd like to run some tape, I am loving, oop, I gotta open it, the new Stampin' Seal. This is the Stampin' Seal Plus. It has really been a favorite. It really works nice. And so I'm just gonna stick a little bit in there. You could do a glue dot, you know, whatever you'd like to hold that in place. But it just needs a little bit. Okay, now that what I do want to show you, I'm going to pull in a scratch piece of paper here. This is something I thought was pretty fun to do with these flowers. And then I'll sponge the last one. So what I used is this Frost White all-purpose ink. And I just have some regular rubbing alcohol I keep in my craft room for different projects. And I already dropped a little bit in here. It is one of our water spritzers. So I put the alcohol ink and just a drop of this. And now I'm just gonna shake it up before, and I'm gonna spray that. And so it's a spray shimmer paint. And I'm gonna spray it off to the side a couple times to get started. Okay. And I like shimmer, so I don't really care if it gets on other stuff. And I hope that you can see that. I think you can see how it sparkles up there. I'll bring it up a little bit closer for you to see. And it doesn't take all that long to dry. So I will put the rest of the card together while I let this dry. And you can spray this on just about everything. It just really adds, it's kind of like adding Wink Stella, but it just gives it a different look. I think it's just beautiful. But very easy to do. All right, and then the last one I'm gonna do, my third flower, I'm gonna sponge. So again, I'm gonna set them all out how I want them to go. I hope I have, oh, yep, here it is. So the first one I did last week, I only did three of these, and then I realized that there was a fourth, so my flower had another layer. And there is another little, like the inside of the flower, the stem that you can add into if you'd like. But I didn't on these ones, but I might on other ones. But these ones I wanted to just leave nice and soft. And so now I'm gonna just take some petal pink ink and a sponge dauber. A regular sponge would work too. And I'm just gonna go off a little bit so that it isn't too dark. And just to give it a little bit of color, but not too much. And then after we start putting it together, we can always add some more. set that aside for now. All right, and then again, just layer it up. And there's really no wrong way to do these layers, I found. In fact, if they're a little bit different on each flower, you know, that looks great too. But the lines are already cut in there when you run them through your die cutting machine. And then this one I'm not going to, just trying to get a little tape on there. This one I'm not going to do the shimmer. You could if you wanted to, but this one I'm going to leave just like this, but I think I will add now just a little more sponging on that. So we're gonna have 3 different looks on our flowers. And then I'll do this while I have it here because I wanna give my other flowers a little bit of time to dry. All right, and then flowers are done. But last week I had talked about this too. I wanted to show these 2 leaves, and actually there's some smaller ones too where this layers on top of those. So I'm gonna show you those right now. And here, let me show quick. So at a glance, these 2 look exactly the same. They are slightly different. So when I did them, I did keep 2 different cups so that it wouldn't take me long to decide or figure out which layer went with which leaf. So I'm going to pull this in here. And so I use some soft sea foam and pear pizzazz. I'm just going to take a dab of liquid glue for this. And then you just get a nice layer. This would be a real nice tone on tone too if you wanted to just add the soft sea foam on there on top of it. But I thought just a slight difference would be nice. And I do like to double check before I put my glue on which way it's gonna go. Oh, I need to make sure I get a hold of it. All right, so then I'm gonna set these aside. I'm gonna try to keep track of them. When I made up my sample card last night, I lost one. So I have 1 leaf floating around here somewhere. So I just did another one. It wasn't a big deal, but I thought that to be kind of funny. All right, so next let's do, since we're still wanting those other flowers to dry, let's pull in and do our label and a little bit of stamping. So I have already cut this. This is just from a scrap of white, and it's Whisper White, and I cut it at 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to open up my punch. And as you see, the crevices fit just really perfect to get your piece in right. But when we do our punches, our Stampin' Up! Punches, we do like to go from behind. So I'm gonna put it in this way, make sure it's in there nice and snug. And then I'm gonna flip this way just to double check and make sure it's all the way to the edge. And then I'll have no trouble with it coming out even. So it's perfect. And then what I'm gonna do is my stamping, and then I'll just snip this end off. And I'm going to use gray granite because that's what the base of my card is going to be. And I'm also going to pull in a little bit of the gray granite ribbon. And something that I need to get a hole in this. So if you have a hole punch, just a regular hole punch is what I'm using. It's one that I've had for a long time. So just any hole punch will do. I'm going to put a hole in here so that I can put a little bit of ribbon through there. And you can use your paper trimmer if you'd like, but it's a small enough piece that it's pretty easy to get an even cut on there. And then as long as we're still waiting on our flowers a little bit longer, we'll just get all of our pieces ready. So I'm gonna use this gray granite shimmer ribbon. And I just need a little piece of it just to go through here. And since my hole is pretty small, depending on the size of your hole punch, I'm going to fold it in half to get it through. And then what I want to do is I just want it to go like so. So I'm going to put a glue dot on the front and the back, and that's going to hold that in place real nice. So again, this strip was just 3/4 of an inch, and it was just a scrap. Oh, I put that in the wrong spot. I want it to go right on the top there. And then as you can see, that's all there is to it. And then you just can snip your ribbon to whatever size you want. Even after I get it on the card, I may change how big I want that. If I want it a little bit smaller, that's not a problem. So as you see, our pieces come together really quite quickly. And then next we'll put our base together. And I have already embossed this with the Dainty Diamonds, and it's petal pink. And then I just have a regular 8.5 by 11 card base in gray granite. Oh, and I should add, this is 5 1/4 by 4. So just kind of the pretty standard, very standard measurements, not hard at all for measuring this card. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus, which is real nice. It's real nice and quiet. It goes on very smooth. And then let's bring our flowers back in here. And it's already pretty much dry, so I can start assembling now. And so I'm going to kind of go to the right side of the card. And let me get my little, I'm going to tape on this just so I don't get my base here all glittery, just in case. I think it might be just a touch wet, but we can still put it together. So I'll just use my adhesive. And then these first two, I am not going to put any dimensionals on. And then this last one, I am going to put a little bit, I'm going to put 1 dimensional right underneath here, because there's so much layering on this. It's a little bit thicker already. So I want this to kind of sit nice and level. So I'll put 1 dimensional here and then just regular adhesive on the top. Well, maybe 2 dimensionals. 1 just doesn't seem like quite enough. It probably is, but I'll put 2. And this Stampin' Seal Plus is really good since there is so many layers, and this card's going to be a little bit heavier because of all those layers. It'll hold it in place really nice. And then we just need to add our leaves in here. And so I'm going to put 1 here and 1 here. So I'm really hoping, I haven't had a chance really to look at these comments as we're going. I'm seeing lots of hello. So do let me know if you like this and what you think of how easy it actually is to put together. It's not difficult at all. And I know at a glance it does look really intimidating, but really once you get working with it, it's super fun to do. And then last, all we have to do is add our sentiment to this. Actually, we have to add some of those gems too. So again, on here, this is gonna not sit level. So I do wanna put a dimensional on this part, but not up here. And since this is pretty thick, I'm actually going to add 2 dimensionals. So this would be a card that you would want to make sure that you checked on your postage because it is so tall. And see, you can see how nice that sits, nice and flat. On this one, I did not put 2 on here, and it gets a little bit saggy there. So I prefer it with 2 so that it's nice and level. And then last, I'm gonna just add a few of these gems to the card. These are really pretty if you see them in person. And then I'm just gonna do 3 of them. And that finishes off our card. So I hope you love that. Isn't that so fun? We added the shimmer paint in there. 3 of the flowers that go together so easily, these layered leaves. I love that punch. So I really hope you enjoyed it. So again, this collection, not these cards, but this collection is what this month's birthday club is, which is to go. I am hosting on June 30th, next Tuesday, a live classes in my home. It is very limited to space, so there's only going to be 4 people at a time. I think the only time slot that is filled at this point is the 3 o'clock. So 3 o'clock is full. Otherwise, throughout the day, starting at 9 in the morning until 6 at night, I have times open. You will register and pay online to hold your spot. It is prepaid only. So I hope to see many of you, if you're comfortable coming, at that class. So I have some fun projects planned for that day. But in the meantime, take a look at that Peony Birthday Club class. This is the host code. And if you do order online, you'll get a different class sent to you. All right. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed and have a wonderful week. And I will plan to see you back here next Wednesday, July 1st. All right. Have a great day. Bye-bye.